Okay, so good morning everyone. Today we will be discussing about ADD or ADHD, okay? Makinig ng mabuti para malaman nyo kung ano nga ba ang ADD or ADHD, okay? Handa na bang makinig? Okay, let's start. So, ano nga ba ang kahulugan ng ADD or ADHD? So, ADD stands for Attention Deficit Disorder, while ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Okay? So, ADD or ADHD are complex neurobiological disorders in which neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers of the brain, do not work properly. So, sinasabi dito na ang ADD and ADHD daw, ito yung mga mahirap unawain or mga komplikadong neurobiological disorder na kung saan yung mga neurotransmitter, mga chemical messenger ng brain natin ay hindi gumagana ng maayos. Researchers believe the neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin are deficient or kulang. So, nag-search din ako kung ano ba yung mga yan na neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. So, yung neurotransmitters nga, ito yung chemical messengers na your body can't function without. So, their job is to carry chemical signals, mga messages from one neuron, nerve cell, or to the next target cell. Okay. And ito namang norepinephrine, also known as noradrenaline. So, pareho siyang neurotransmitter and a hormone. So, ginagamit ang norepinephrine para mapataas and maintain yung blood pressure. Okay po? So, while ang dopamine naman, isa din siyang type ng neurotransmitter at hormone. So, it plays a role in many important body functions, kabilang na yung mga movements natin, memory, and yung mga pleasurable reward and motivation. So, high or low level ng dopamine may be associated with several mental health and neurological diseases. And syempre, yung last is serotonin. So, isa siyang chemical that carries messages between nerve cells in the brain and throughout your body. So, gumaganap din ng important role itong serotonin sa body functions natin. So, katulad ng mood natin, sa pagtulog natin, or sa pagdadigest, and wound healing, yung sugat natin na pinapagaling nito. So, bone health and sexual desire. Okay, next. Through the use of PET scans or positron emission tomography, so itong PET scans pala ay isang imaging test siya na makakatulong na ipakita ang metabolic o biochemical functions of your tissues and organs. So, ayan. Natuklasan ng mga researchers ng NIMH or National Institution of Mental Health na na-reduce yung blood flow and yung activity levels ng brains ng mga adults na may ADHD. And in addition, the white matter that carries messages between neurons is also smaller without indication of brain damage. Okay po? So, ayan. What is ADHD? So, para mas lalo nating maintindihan kung ano ba talaga yan. So, ADHD is a common behavioral disorder na nakakaapekto sa halos 10% ng mga batang nasa paaralan. So, yung mga boys daw ang mas madaling kapitan ng sakit na to kaysa sa mga babae. So, a medical condition characterized by inattention and hyperactivity, impulsivity. So, ito yung mga common behavioral disorder na nagsisimula sa kanilang pagkabata. However, ang ADHD ay hindi lamang nakakaapekto sa mga bata, but it is also affects people of all ages. Next, an individual with ADHD finds it much more difficult to focus on something without being distracted. So, ayan, mas nahihirapan sila mag-focus sa mga bagay nang hindi sila nadidistract. Next, he has a greater difficulty in controlling what he is doing or saying, and is less able to control how much physical activity is appropriate for a particular situation compared to somebody without ADHD. So, sabi dito, mas nahihirapan silang kontrolin yung kanilang mga ginagawa or mga sinasabi and hindi nila gaanong kayang kontrolin din yung mga physical activity na appropriate sa isang particular na situation compared dun sa mga taong walang ADHD. So, in other words, a person with ADHD is much more impulsive and restless. So, ayan, yung mga hindi sila mapakali. And also, kids with ADHD kasi kumikilos sila ng hindi nag-iisip, hyperactive sila, and nagkakaroon sila ng mga trouble focusing sa isang bagay. So, maaaring maunawaan nila kung ano yung mga inaasahan mo sa kanila, pero nahihirapan silang sumunod dahil, ayun, they can sit still or pay attention and mag-focus sa mga details na binibigay mo sa kanila. Okay, when was ADHD discovered? Ayan, so in 1798, a Scottish doctor, Sir Alexander Crichton, noticed some people were easily distracted and unable to focus on their activities the way others could. So he reported that these symptoms began early in life. So that's consistent with what we now call attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. Okay, what was ADHD first called? So, ADHD was originally called hyperkinetic reaction of childhood. And noong 1960s lamang, na formal na kinilala ito ng mga American Psychiatric Association or APA bilang isang mental disorder. And noong 1980s, the diagnosis became known as attention deficit disorder with or without hyperactivity. Okay, next, and in early 19s, ADHD was first mentioned in 1902. And describe rin ng British pediatrician na si Sir George Frederick yung an abnormal defect or moral control in children. So, ang pagkakaintindi ko po dito is kapag abnormal yung isang bata, parang nahihirapan siyang kontrolin yung behavior niya. So, ayan, sabi nga dito, he found that some affected children could not control their behavior the way a typical child would, but they were still intelligent. Ayan, so matatalino pa rin naman talaga sila. Okay, now let's proceed to the types of ADHD. So, there are 3 types of ADHD. The first one is predominantly inattentive ADHD. So, impaired attention and concentration mark this ADHD. The person finds it's very difficult to organize or finish tasks. They find it hard to pay attention to details and find it difficult to follow instructions or conversations. So, ayan. Sa predominantly inattentive ADHD, ayan yung mga taong nahihirapan ayusin and tapusin yung kanilang mga gawain kasi ang daming tumatakbo sa isip nila. And next is, nahihirapan din silang bigyang pansin yung mga details na sinasabi mo sa kanila and nahihirapan din sila sundin yung mga instructions na binibigay mo sa kanila. The second type of ADHD is predominantly hyperactive impulsive ADHD. So, hyperactivity marks this without inattentiveness. Ayan. So, nahihirapan silang manatili sa isang lugar lamang. So, madalas malikot talaga sila and they talk a lot. So, a smaller child may be continually jumping, running, or climbing. So, ayan, hindi talaga sila mapakali and sobrang nakakaabala talaga sila sa iba. So, nangaagaw din sila ng mga bagay na hindi naman sa kanila and nagsasalita sila in appropriate times. So, next is, they have difficulty waiting their turn. So, parang atat palagi sila. So, tama ba yung atat na word? Hindi sila mapakali. Parang ganun. Basta yun. So, hindi sila makapag-antay. Gusto nila na sila na agad. And, ayun nga, they find it hard to listen to directions. Ayan. Sabi ko nga kanina, nahihirapan sila makinig or maintindihan yung mga directions na sinasabi mo sa kanila. And the person with this type of ADHD will have more injuries and accidents than others. Ayan. And last is combined ADHD. So, A person whose symptoms include all those of 1 and 2 and whose symptoms are equally predominant. So in other words, all the signs and symptoms in 1 and 2 stand out equally. So sa combined type ADHD is where both inattention and hyperactivity, impulsivity are present. So ayan, pinagsama lang sila. So now, punta na tayo sa symptoms. So there are 3 different categories of ADHD symptoms. Una na natin yung inattention. Ayan. So, making careless mistakes. Ayan, for example, sa mga schoolworks parang absent-minded lagi sila. So, lutang moments, ganon. So, like may mga ginagawa ka pero di ka makapag-focus kasi occupied yung isip mo. And you get distracted so easily. So, parang you're thinking about something different. And, nakalagay din dito sa example na you also forgetful sa mga bagay na need mo sa school like yung mga books mo or homeworks mo. Or kapag naman nagawa mo na yung binigay na assignment sa'yo ng teacher mo, madalas mo naman ito nawawala or nakakalimutan kung saan mo siya nilagay. At nakakalimutan mo din ito ipasa sa mga teacher mo. So, changing activity or tasks, ayan, nahihirapan din sila ayusin yung mga gawain or gagawin nila. Next is hyperactivity. Okay, often squirms, fidgets, or bounces when sitting. A child always goes out for running or climbing on things. So, ayan, ito yung mga taong hindi mapakali sa upuan or mga malilikot. So, paikot-ikot sa classroom, mga palagi lumalabas para tumakbo or umakyat sa mga anumang bagay. So, I'll give an example. So, kapag may group work kayong gagawin, ang taong may ADHD ay nahihirapang mag-focus sa gagawin nyo. So, in short, hindi po siya mapakali. So, gagawa talaga siya ng mga bagay na pagkakabisihan niya. So, parang ganun po. Next is number 3. Impulsivity. So, blurts out answer before the question has been completed and often interrupts others. So, example, sa school, minsan kapag nagtatanong si teacher, hindi pa tapos yung tanong, sasagot na agad yan. Sasagot na agad yan dahil madalas hindi nila maiwasang magsabi ng mga bagay na pumapasok sa isip nila. Kahit minsan pilit nilang pinipigilan yung sarili nila pero bigla na lang silang umiimik at nakikialam sa iba. Okay, punta na tayo sa ADHD causes. So, according to Teeter, 1998, current research indicates that frontal lobe, basal ganglia, caudate nucleus, cerebellum, as well as other areas of the brain play a significant role in ADHD because they are involved in complex processes that regulate behavior. So, sa lahat ng binanggit ko dito, yung mga frontal lobe, basal ganglia, caudates, and so on and so forth, ay may mga significant role sa ADHD. Dahil sila ay involved sa mga proseso na kumokontrol sa ating behavior po. Okay, unang causes ay ang genes. So, ADHD has a strong genetic basis in the majority of cases. ADHD tends to run in families and in most cases, it is thought the genes that inherit from your parents are a significant factor in developing these conditions. So, nasa genes yan. So, kapag yung parents mo is parang may ADHD, pag may ADHD sila, namamana din nila yon sa mga magiging anak nila po. Okay, next causes is nutrition and food. So, some experts believe that food additives may exacerbate ADHD. So, a popular belief is that refined sugar may be a cause for a range of abnormal behaviors. So, ayan, sa mga kinakain din pala po natin, maaaring lumala yung ADHD na yan. Kaya mag-ingat din po tayo sa mga kinakain po natin, lalo na kapag may ADHD po tayo. Next is the environment. So, there may be a link between ADHD and maternal smoking. So, nevertheless, nicotine can cause hypoxia or lack of oxygen in utero of mother that impact on her baby leading to brain injury may also be a cause of attention deficit disorder in children. Exposure to toxins or physical injury either before or after birth is also a cause for this disorder. So, ayan. So, masama talaga manigarilyo lalo na kapag buntis ka kasi maapektuhan nito is yung baby mo. So, sabi nga dito, yung baby na dinadala mo, maaaring magkaroon siya ng brain injury na maaaring maging cause ng ADHD or attention deficit disorder sa mga bata. Ayan. So, other possible causes of ADHD. So, being born prematurely. Ayan, yan yung mga pinanganak kaagad ng hindi pa oras or wala pa sa panahon. Before the 37th week of pregnancy. Ayan, having a low birth weight. Ayan, yung kakapanganak mo pa lang sa baby mo and nakita mo na mababa yung timbang niya. And brain damage either in the womb or in the first few years of life. And syempre, yung drinking alcohol, smoking, or misusing drugs while pregnant. So, ayan. We all know naman na masela ng pagbubuntis. So, umiwas tayo sa mga ganyang gawain kasi kawawa naman po yung mga baby. Next, diagnosis of AD. Ayan. So, there is no single medical, physical, or another test for diagnosing ADD or ADHD. So, ADD or ADHD looks different in every person. So, there is a wide array of criteria or measures for testing. So, to determine kung ikaw ba or yung anak mo ay may ADD or ADHD, so, kailangan nyo na pumunta sa doktor or other health professional para ma-actionan agad itong ganitong cases po. Ano po? Okay, next. Okay, diagnosing ADHD in children. So, some symptoms that suggest ADHD in children include inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. So, many children with ADHD are in constant motion, mga hindi napapagod gumalaw, parang hindi sila nauubusan ng energy, squirm and fidget, make careless mistakes. Ayan, kakasabi ko lang nito kanina. Do not seem to listen and do not finish the tasks. So, next naman is, ito naman is for diagnosing ADHD in adults. So, in addition to symptoms of inattention and or impulsiveness, adults with ADHD may have other problems including chronic lateness and forgetfulness, anxiety, poor organizational skills, low self-esteem, employment problems, short temper, and also difficulty finishing tasks. Okay, next. Treatment of ADHD. So, ADHD cannot be cured. So, but many of the symptoms that interfere with functioning and cause distress can be controlled. So, treatment for ADHD ay kadalasan siyang kinabibilangan ng mga combination ng medication and iba't ibang psychosocial therapies. So, medication can help reduce symptoms of hyperactivity, inattentiveness, and impulsivity in children and adults with ADD and ADHD. But, however, medications are not the only treatment options for solving these ADD and ADHD problems. Pero, may mga possible solution naman tayo para dito. So, ayan, possible solution. So, una is physical exercise. So, dito, maganda yung yoga and meditation sa mga batang may ADHD kasi mas makakapag-focus sila dito and any sports activity like swimming, badminton, or tennis. So, kung nasa bahay nyo lang naman, pwede na yung climbing stairs or jogging kayo sa street nyo. Ayun. Next is diet. So, sa diet naman, so kainin natin yung mga food rich in vitamin B, proteins, calcium, and omega-3. Ayan. So, sa mga, so make lessons very clear. So, pag nagle-lesson tayo and gumagawa tayo ng PowerPoint or other learning materials, dapat simple lang and yung madaling intindihin. Kasi, lalo na kapag elementary students hawak mo. So, kapag madami kang pasikot-sikot sa PowerPoint presentation mo or sa lessons mo, panigurado, hindi nila yon maiintindihan. Okay, next, use lot of visuals. Ayan. And pair students together to complete assignments. Ayan, so kapag may ADHD kang classmate, The best way to do is itabi mo siya sa classmate niya na tutulong sa kanya or magsusupport sa kanya. And yung sinabi ko nga example kanina na nalilimutan ng isang student yung homework niya or hindi niya nagagawa, pwede nating sabihin sa kanya na gumawa siya sa isang papel ng list of assignments to help him remember. And syempre, as a parent, pwede rin tayo gumawa ng routine na susundin nila at makakapag-focus sa kanila. And syempre, don't compare kasi himbis tumaas yung confidence nila, hindi at lalo pang nababawasan. Yan. So, sa cases naman, nag-search din ako ng mga famous people with ADHD. So, una na nga dito si Michael Phelps. Yan. So, Phelps was diagnosed with ADHD at age 9 years old. So, sobrang pinahirapan daw talaga siya ng ADHD sa mga schoolwork niya. Hindi siya makapag-focus at nahihirapan din siyang matapos yung kanyang mga ginagawa. Okay. Sabi niya nga dito, I saw kids who we were all in the same class and the teachers treated them differently than they would treat me. So Phelps told People magazine, I had a teacher tell me that I would never amount to anything and I would never be successful. Ayan, so grabe naman yun. He would never be successful daw. Pero syempre, na-overcome ni Phelps yon and medication made his symptoms better. Pero sa pool niya natagpuan yung kakayahan niyang harapin yung kanyang karamdaman. So, yung pagpo-practice niya lumangoy, yun yung nakatulong sa kanya para malagpasan niya at makayanan niya yung nararamdaman niya. So, look at him now. 'Di ba? Sabi niya dito, I think the biggest thing for me, once I found that it was okay to talk to someone and seek help, I think that's something that has changed my life forever. He says, now I'm able to live life to its fullest. Ayan. So, yung teacher na nagsabi sa kanya na di daw siya magiging successful ngayon, tingnan nyo naman, di ba? Siya na ay isang Olympic history with 28 medals which included a record 23 gold. O, di ba? So, wag tayo basta-basta mag-judge po, ano. Dapat tayo as a future educator, mahalaga yung tayo pa mismo yung nag-encourage sa mga bata na kaya nila yung isang bagay na yun and magiging magaling pa sila lalo doon. Especially sa mga batang may learning difficulties. So, tulungan natin sila na ma-overcome yun and wag tayo mawala ng pag-asa. Ano lang, patience lang. Kasi, iba yung saya kapag nakita mo na nagbunga yung lahat ng sacrifices mo dun sa isang tao na yun. And naging successful sila sa kanilang buhay, di ba? At sigurado ako na hanggang pagtanda nila, hindi nila makakalimutan yung bagay na ginawa mo sa kanila. So, ayun lang po. Hope you learn a lot and yeah, thank you for listening. Bye!